PodQuest.
Oh boy, what's going on? It's just Neal on the intro. That usually means something didn't go as planned. And you'd be right, mortals. See, in today's pop culture landscape, just filled with your Jackass and your Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory and your Rob Dyrdek's ridiculousness and your that Jamie Kennedy show, Corey decided to take our weird drinks bit to the next level for the sake of, keeping up. And he found this water skin full of old water, and he was like, I'm going to drink this for the podcast. But he kind of underestimated the effects of it and just immediately almost turned to dust. No, he's okay. He's okay. We managed to find a potion maker out in the woods. She was very hot, and we're getting things under control. Okay, Corey's just got to drink the potion, and he'll be back ready to record more Mortal Kombat podcasts very soon. Fortunately, friend of the show and my friend Dakota Rain heard my story about finding a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet in a random place out in the wild and pulling off a fatality for the first time in my life. And he wanted to share a similar story about Mortal Kombat and fatalities. So I sat down with him on the microphone a couple weeks ago to record it, thinking it might be a segment we insert into an episode, but we had a really nice conversation, and I made the decision to release it as its own bonus episode. But now, thanks to, the old water, Dakota's taken center stage this week. In the inaugural episode of what we sort of plan to be a kind of recurring sort of sub-series on the podcast called Befrienders of the Realm. That's pretty good, right? Before we jump into that, though, I'm going to go ahead and drop the plugs now. You know where to find us, mkpodquest.com. Find links to all of the podcast services and our YouTube channel, Twitter and Instagram at mkpodquest. Make sure you subscribe to Corey's shows. They made another one, and Strat 2. And pay attention to my Twitter feed at Final Neal for an announcement about an upcoming project that I'm kicking off pretty darn soon about another large media franchise with another friend that I only know from the internet, because that's how you find people to make podcasts with these days. More on that later. For now, though, let's cut to the very first episode of Befrienders of the Realm with Dakota Rain and special guest. It's in the title. But I don't want to spoil it here. I like the idea that someone's listening to this blind and they're just going to get a shocking surprise when you hear me say the word shit, not knowing that there is a 6-year-old on the other end of the microphone. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Because we never introduce ourselves, we fall back on this, say the other person's name, address the other person by name once, and that counts as the intro. But I feel like you deserve more respect than that. So how do you want to be introduced?
Ooh. Let's see.
And don't worry, I can edit all of this.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's so hard to think on the spot.
Right.
I just musician and massive Mortal Kombat fan since childbirth.
Okay.
Or since birth, I guess. Childbirth doesn't really make sense.
Since birth. Dakota, the musician and longtime Mortal Kombat fan since birth. How's it going?
Awesome. Couldn't be better. So happy to be here.
So a couple weeks ago on the podcast, I told a story about finding a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade cabinet in the wild and performing some fatalities on it, which was a first for me. That was like a first. I feel like that's a rite of passage for a Mortal Kombat fan that I achieved pretty late in life.
That is absolutely a rite of passage for a Mortal Kombat fan.
Yeah.
And I would say it's safe to say that is a little late, but never better late than never.
I can finally call myself a true Mortal Kombat fan.
Yes.
Dakota, you messaged me. You said that you had a very, not a similar story. Well, similar, I guess. You had a story about almost the same thing happening to you recently. So I reached out. I was like, hey, dude, instead of doing just like sending a voice message, old school style, why don't you hop on the mic with me and tell me the story?
To which, of course, I agreed. But what you don't know, Final Neal, is that
oh shit,
I have a surprise for you.
No.
And what that surprise is that on my end over here in California, I'm not alone. I am with my daughter, Kodi, who would like to say hello.
Oh wow. Hey Kodi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
You doing you a big Mortal Kombat fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character?
Melina and Kitana.
Oh, good choices. If you had to pick one, Melina or Kitana, who would you pick?
Melina.
Okay, perfect answer. That's the correct answer. Very cool.
Now, that's not all. Where did we just come from, Kodi? Don't be shy. Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
And who is your teacher over there at Kung Fu class? What's his title?
Sifu.
Sifu. Master Sifu, and he has a name. Do you remember his name?
No.
It's Master Sifu Kenneth Edwards.
Kenneth Edwards.
Art Lean himself in the flesh.
Lean himself. That's so cool. How is Master Kenneth Edwards? Is he teaching you a lot of kung fu skills?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many belts have you gotten?
I have 2 belts.
2 belts. That's amazing. Congratulations.
My first belt was just purple, and my second belt is purple but with white tassels.
Oh, very cool. So you're a certified purple belt.
That's right. And first, the story that I feel like surpasses my story of the wild, even though it's not technically in the wild. in my swamp cave, as I call it, my musician man room.
Yeah.
I have the arcade 1-up Mortal Kombat cabinet,
nice.
The Midway Legacy Edition that has
very cool.
Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and 9 other Midway games.
Is one of those games Sinistar by any chance?
No. It has Defender, it has Joust, it has Wizards of War, Rampage, Paperboy, Tubin.
Okay.
I'm forgetting some others. But
all hits. I mean, all killer, no filler on that thing. But
all killer, no filler. That's right.
Can't believe they left Sinistar out.
So since Kodi's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 able to perceive anything, I've shoveled so much Mortal Kombat into her life, and she's loved it, as all kids should.
Yeah.
And
never too early.
Never too early. And so we come back and we play, and we were playing Mortal Kombat 2 one day.
Yeah.
And Kodi had her favorite character, Melina.
Uh-huh.
And she was, can you do any special moves with Melina?
Yes.
Oh, what can you do?
Like when she throws those little swords.
That's right.
Very cool. I don't even think I know how to do that move.
And
and the size.
Yeah, the size. That's what they're called.
Yeah, size.
Do you remember how to do it? The button?
Yep.
How do you do it?
I hold high punch and then I let go for 2 seconds.
Nice.
I mean, I hold it for 2 seconds and then I let go.
And she goes.
Very cool. I think the first special move I learned in Mortal Kombat was Raiden's Superman move.
Yeah, where he flies across the screen.
The cheapest way to win Mortal Kombat against your friends and make them hate you.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
So here's the amazing story. We're playing Mortal Kombat. She had Melina.
Uh-huh.
I taught her how to throw the size. Beautiful. I taught her how to do the teleport kick, forward, low kick.
Very cool.
And that's it. I taught her how to uppercut. I did teach her how to uppercut, how to throw, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it. I left it at that. And she beats me.
Okay.
And the screen says finish him.
Oh, boy.
And then what happened, Kodi?
I did a fatality when I didn't even know how. I just did it.
Wow.
My dad didn't even tell me how, but I just did it.
Oh, my God. That's so cool.
How that happened.
Yeah, and how'd you do it? After the fact that we looked it up and figured out how you did it.
I hold it high kick, and I went close to him, and then I let go.
And then what happened?
And then did it, and then she ate him, and then threw out the bones.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're just naturally gifted at playing Mortal Kombat.
You're pretty good at Mortal Kombat, he says.
Yeah.
All right.
And also Kung Fu.
Yeah, she's a special one, this one.
Very cool.
And she's only 6.
6 years old, and she could probably beat me at pretty much any Mortal Kombat game with those skills.
Unless it was on a Sega system, of course.
Sure, yeah. If it's on a Sega Saturn, I have an advantage just from being familiar with the controller.
So what that showed me
Yeah.
was what I really wanted to share with you, because I'm standing there. Obviously, I'm at home. I'm on a mock-up arcade machine. It's 2022. I'm a 31-year-old man.
Right.
But this kid is playing this arcade game, and out of nowhere, the screen goes black and does the music. I forget it exactly, but whatever.
Yeah.
And she eats this dude and spits out all the bones. And I'm just like, what? Oh, are you serious?
Wow.
I'm like, what? I'm like, Kodi, you just did a fatality. How did you do that? And she's like, I don't know.
Amazing.
And I'm psyched. I'm so psyched.
That's so cool.
And I realized in that moment the same kind of energy and just insane experience that people all over the country were having when Mortal Kombat came out, and it was 1992.
Right.
And kids were in arcades and not having a goddamn clue what they're doing. And then all of a sudden, this dude Sub-Zero is ripping this guy's head and spine out of his body. And everybody's just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? Did that just happen? Did I just see that? And then it turns into the playground conversation and the rumors and all that stuff. And I was born in 1990, so I never got to play these games truly in the arcade when they were new. And I never got to have any of that experience, but my brother was born in 81. He's 9 years older than me. He got to experience those kinds of things. Yeah. And finally, in a different kind of way, I really got to experience what that felt like. And it was nuts.
That's crazy. That's so cool. 30 years later, kids are still
30 years later
figuring out how to pull off fatalities in Mortal Kombat. It's
out of the blue, in the wild.
Crazy.
That's in the wild of my backyard.
Yeah, that counts.
So
very, very cool.
That was nuts. All right, Kodi's going to go back to her TV and her snacks.
All right. Bye, Kodi. It was nice talking to you. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you later.
See you later. Bye. Meow, 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 meow.
Bye, Kodi.
All right, brother.
That's amazing, dude. Very cool story.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my story.
Yeah. Let's hear your story.
That we went to.
I mean, first of all, there's no way it's going to live up to that, but go for it anyway, man.
Of course not. Yeah. That's why I had her go first. But so there's a bar in LA. I don't know where exactly in LA. I'm sure. First of all, nobody knows me, but I am horrible with geography. So somewhere in downtown LA, my wife and I and some friends went out a couple weekends ago for a friend's birthday, and we went to this place, Barcade. Okay. And it's a bar, and it's just full of old school arcade games.
Very cool.
And sure enough, Mortal Kombat 2 was there, more or less in the center, and it's pretty obvious to spot right when you walk in. Right. Like I said, I have the arcade machine here, so I've been playing a good amount over the last year or so that I've had it. And
you're practiced. You put in the reps.
I'm just psyched. Yeah, I'm practiced. A little bit. Right. So I'm pretty psyched to play it. And at first I was just hanging out with my friends, watching them drink. I don't drink anymore, but just watching them have a good time. Mm-hmm. And then I played some Pac-Man on somebody else's quarter. I didn't have any I didn't have any quarters, but I didn't have any cash either. But eventually I was like, I'm going to have to find an ATM. I'm going to have to get cash because I have to play Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
So eventually I cough up the $2 to use their ATM. I pull out 20 because that's all you can pull out. And I get $20 worth of quarters, which I still have like $16 worth of those quarters. Like, it was way too much. But and it's not quarters. They're only Barcade tokens.
It's tokens
I have
too.
To go back there.
Wow, yeah, that's how they get you, man. That's how they get you to go back.
Right, exactly. So I convinced my roommate George to play me, and I'm always beating him here, and he never wants to play me because he's like, I don't want to die. This isn't fun.
Right.
But I'm like, no, just you got to play me. I'll pay for it. So, So I play him, and I get Scorpion, and he gets Reptile. He's a Reptile main. I'm a Scorpion main.
Okay,
As
yeah.
far as Mortal Kombat 2 goes, my
Right.
mains change from game to game. But yeah, we play, and I kick his ass, and half screen, hold block, up, release, high punch, toasty, baby.
Nice. That's probably
fatality. Got to do it.
That's probably the second. No, that's probably the first fatality I ever learned. The toasty. That one's an all-time classic.
I want to say that's probably the first one I learned too. It's got to be.
So I mean, Sub-Zero's head rip, spine rip is maybe like the de facto, the defining one, right? But
yeah.
Toasty is iconic, dude.
Toasty 2D.
Was that the first time you pulled that off on an actual genuine arcade machine?
No, I would have to say no. There used to be in Pasadena, California. There was a Pac-Man arcade. That's what it was called.
Okay.
That actually was still open until I want to say maybe 2003, 2004.
Okay.
And my brother took me there a few times when I was like 11 or 12, and it had. I mean, this was an arcade from the 80s that was still open all this time and just had what they had through the years. So they had Killer Instinct 1, they had Mortal Kombat 1, they had Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I used to play Time Crisis there. I don't know if you're familiar with that game.
I know Time Crisis.
Super fun arcade game.
I was that bitter kid who Time Crisis was everywhere, and I was like, Virtua Cop's better. I don't know that Virtua Cop actually is better, but
yeah, I don't think I've ever played Virtua Cop. I know I've heard of it.
It's tough being a Sega kid and where I'm growing up.
Yeah. Actually, I might have lied because I don't know if I was capable of pulling off fatalities back then. I probably just played and got my ass kicked by my brother.
Yeah, brothers will do that to you in video games.
But it was fun. Oh, and also I don't know if it's more or if it was at least in the late 90s. What I'm trying to say is I don't know if in California there's more arcades closer around. But also in Pasadena, there used to be a movie theater where actually my brother and I went to see Mortal Kombat Annihilation in '97.
Oh, nice.
When I was 7, I was too young for the first movie to be even aware of it.
7's probably the perfect age to see Mortal Kombat Annihilation for the first time.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm pretty sure that I just enjoyed it and had a great time. But I remember my brother, who was 16, being like, "That was fucking terrible."
Yeah.
And but in that movie theater in the front lobby, they had an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh, nice.
So it was like all over the place. I want to say.
Here in like where I'm at, Clearwater, St. Pete area, all I ever saw when like movie theaters or there's definitely Mortal Kombat at like the skating rink. That was the quote unquote big arcade, but like the family, like the Celebration Station, I don't think they ever had one, probably because of the violence, controversies.
Right.
Movie theaters, they all had like Neo Geo MVS cabinets. I think I saw maybe one Killer Instinct. I didn't start seeing Mortal Kombat arcade machines until Mortal Kombat 4 came out. Then they started popping up places, specifically 4. So
right.
I honestly don't think I ever really encountered one and was like able to play it until fairly recently when some of these barcades and places like that have opened up. But finding a Mortal Kombat 2 for some reason they're just really rare. There's a lot of 1s and 4s around still.
Huh. That's interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen a 3. No, I have seen a 3 once. I should take that back. There was a place that had all 1 through 4, but they moved locations and now they only have Mortal Kombat 1 on the floor. And when I saw it, it was during the pandemic. They had closed the arcade section down just because of sanitizing and stuff. It was like they moved into this space and set everything up right before that happened. It's kind of a bummer.
When you say 3, do you actually mean 3 and not Ultimate 3?
I believe it was just 3. I'm not positive. I got a photo somewhere I could dig through and let you know later.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Because I took photos to show people the arcade. I was like, can't wait till this is open, and then it just never was.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm thinking about this right now. It's because I've been sober for 6 months from alcohol, so it hasn't been that long. Great decision.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's huge.
But what I'm thinking about going to a barcade is for me just going to an arcade because I'm not drinking or partying. I'm just going there and playing video games.
And I don't know if
that's
it's something
cool.
that you struggle to fight the impulse or anything, but like you've got plenty of stuff there to keep you distracted and busy, right? So that's really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Um,
Sorry, excellent.
no, yeah,
right? Like Shao Kahn.
man.
There it is.
You are pretty good at that. Yeah, that stupid toasty I did earlier really is from Mortal Kombat 4 when they started doing Toasty 3D. I don't know if you remember hearing that.
Ah, man, I got to check my copy of Mortal Kombat Gold. Make sure it's in there.
Yeah. Man, I remember. All right, I guess. Well, let me finish that Barcade story. So,
Yeah.
my buddy lost. My buddy lost. He probably continued a couple times. But then I start on the arcade ladder. This is so similar to the story I just heard on the last podcast that you guys released. And then the first round starts. It's either Baraka or Jax. I think it's Baraka, and it's the Deadpool.
Okay. Yep.
And I beat him. Hold low punch, hold low kick, uppercut, bam, into the acid pit.
Oh, stage fatality, nice.
Always. And then the second round, it's got to be Jax. I get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I want to be good at Mortal Kombat the game, but I'm really not, especially the old ones because they're fucking hard.
Put a pin in that. Finish your story. I got some news for you.
Okay. So I continue. I try to fight him again. I probably continued again. Maybe chose a different character.
Yeah.
Never beat Jax. And then I walked away from the machine. It was like, all right, that was fun.
Yeah, I saw a video recently where someone took arcade footage of Mortal Kombat 2, specifically Jax, because I'm guessing he threw you around the stage like a rag doll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's programming in that game where like this person very clearly slowed down footage of them uppercutting, an uppercut that absolutely should have connected, that passed right through, and then he like pulled the throw move on. Like they have absolutely programmed that game so that the computer can do things that players can't. Like
yeah,
it's real. So I wouldn't feel too bad about losing to Jax. I'm sure there are people out there who figured out how to work around that, but average Joes, it's just not in the cards.
No, it isn't. And it's funny. I have absolutely seen that YouTube video or a similar one.
But it's the fun in Mortal Kombat is really playing against your buddies anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's there
trying to do fatalities on one another. I've beaten 1, 2, and Ultimate 3 on my arcade 1-up here at home because
Nice.
I have a million continues.
Sure, yeah.
But it takes a million continues.
Right,
it takes me like an hour to beat one of those games.
Well, you did have
ridiculous.
a roll of $20 in quarters. So
yeah, I could have kept going, but I probably would have been back at that ATM machine. Telling my buddy, keep pressing start. Don't let the timer go down.
Yeah, I gotta run to the bank. Just keep hitting it.
Yeah, I'm getting in the car. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
All right, so let's. I'm gonna ask you just a couple quick questions. We can wrap this up.
Sure.
What is your favorite era of Mortal Kombat games? Are you classic? Are you 3D era? Are you the kind of modern? And for the sake of conversation, I'm gonna lump 4 in with classic.
Sure. To me that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, for one, it's definitely not modern because the truth is I'm just not a active gamer anymore in my life. Right. I haven't been for like almost 10 years. So
sure, yeah.
I own those games. Mm-hmm. I play them like with my daughter, with a random friend here or there. I just look up the fatalities. I haven't even gone through the story mode of 10 or 11.
Okay.
But I've watched them in their entirety on YouTube.
Sure,
because
yeah.
like I am vested in Mortal Kombat totally.
Yes.
But I'm just not a gamer at this point in my life. So
you're still there for the story though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 100%. And then the fighting part, it's like grab a buddy, grab a controller, look up all the moves, try to do all the fatalities, have a good time, turn it off.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I love that. So, I for sure have a definitive answer, even though I want to say it's hard, but it's definitely the 3D era.
Nice. Good and correct answer. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh man. Now I know what Corey's always talking about, how that comes through on my end.
Yeah, it cuts out on Discord sometimes.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Yeah, because I was 12 when Deadly Alliance came out.
Right.
And I had a PS2 as soon as the Christmas that PS2 came out, so 2000, I got one.
Nice.
Because I used the same technique that most kids in America used. I convinced my dad that it was the cheapest DVD player available.
Smart. Yeah.
And I also collected money from all my family members. People asked me, "What do you want?" I was 10. "What do you want for Christmas, buddy?" And I was like, "Money. I want money from you. I want money from you because I want to buy a PlayStation 2, and it's like $300. You know, like help me achieve that. I'm not gonna expect one of you to drop $300 on me,
Right.
but if I could get a little cash, that would help." So
buy my love with money, Grandma. Yeah.
So I had PS2, and to be honest, I was a huge Bloody Roar fan.
Okay. Yeah.
My brother and I had Bloody Roar 2 on PlayStation, and it was just super sick. You turn into these raging animals and just tear people apart.
It's like violent animorphs.
Yeah. And the third game was on PS2, so I had that obviously. And then for whatever reason, I haven't researched this yet. I should though. For whatever reason, the next game, Bloody Roar Primal Fury, was exclusive to GameCube.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I didn't really understand why, but I was like, well, I got to get a GameCube. I mean, I don't have a choice. So I got a GameCube and that game, and that's why. And then Deadly Alliance came out, and my brother and I, it's hard to remember if my brother and I did so many things together, but we're almost 10 years apart. It's hard to remember if it was more of his game or my game, right. But we got Deadly Alliance, and it was for GameCube. I don't know why we got it for GameCube instead of PS2. We could have got the PS2, but for some reason we got it for GameCube. And that was when I was at the age 12. Because before I was like 7 playing Mortal Kombat Trilogy. That was the game we had. And my brother was just murdering me left and right. and then I would just watch him play, and I was really into Noob Saibot. He was the dude.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't even play the computer. Like, it wasn't even an option for me.
Yeah.
But
game's brutal.
Deadly Alliance, man, I know you know what's up.
Oh yeah.
The intro to that game and the graphics that it had, and I was a Korn fan at the time, so like that new metal jam, I was like, this is fucking awesome. Are you kidding me? And then the fighting with all the real martial arts styles was just, I mean, I wasn't into martial arts as a kid or anything like that, but it was just like, this is super cool.
It was very cool.
Like,
I loved that. The fighting styles, switching the fighting styles, the weapon styles, all that stuff really made those games complex. Like hard, I think hard to learn, you know? They're definitely hard to learn, but like they are a lot deeper than I think people give them credit for.
Yeah, I guess maybe I don't pay too much attention, but I feel like there's almost more or equal like about the 3D era games than there is like positivity, and I just don't understand that.
It's a controversial era for some reason. Yeah, I'm firmly pro 3D. 3D era's when I had the most fun, I think, playing Mortal Kombat for sure.
Yeah, I feel like the only, well, I guess there's a couple, but one of the only like basic downfalls is that if somebody throws a fireball, you can just move out of the way.
Yeah.
But it's like you could duck in 2D, you know? I mean, how's that any different, you know, or jump, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, doing combos going from, I'm just remembering Scorpion's, his first one was Hapkido.
Yeah.
And going from Hapkido, starting a combo, pressing L to switch to the other style, do 3 more hits in that style, and then press L again and switch to the sword and finish the combo. It's just like so sick.
Oh yeah.
And my mains in that game were Kung Lao and Sub-Zero.
Nice. Two good choices.
Yeah, and Sub-Zero, I mean, a few people could do this, but Sub-Zero could stab you with his ice spear and then it would just stay in you. And I mean, the other character, and they would just bleed for the rest of they would lose health for the rest of the time. That was really cool. But that game I could beat, you know, I'm pretty sure I beat that game with like every character, and I unlocked all the secret characters. I unlocked like everything in the crypt. Cooking with Scorpion.
Oh yeah.
Was that video. That was a huge hit amongst my friends at sleepovers, you know. I'd be like, you gotta see this. This is so cool. And then stupid, I don't know what's to blame, but stupid GameCube, for whatever reason, corrupted my data on my memory card, and it had to be formatted.
Boo!
And it erased everything. And then I was like furious. But then I would start again and get so far, and then it would just happen again.
Jeez.
And I was like, oh, man, like it left a bad taste in my mouth for GameCube, I guess.
Yeah.
Not for like long term or anything, but it was just like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, man? Like, what kind of bullshit is this?
Well, anytime you get your save data eaten, like that sucks.
Yeah, I've been working so hard at getting all this stuff, and now it's just gone. Like,
Yeah.
whack. Also, I liked. I'm trying to think of all of them, but no, yeah, I particularly liked all the new characters that came out in Deadly Alliance.
Yes, I think things started getting kind of wacky and Deception more than Deadly Alliance for me. I mean, Deception's a brilliant game also, but
yeah, Nitara, I was like, this is an awesome character. Kenshi, still an extremely popular character.
Yes.
I thought Draman was cool. I thought Moloch was cool.
Moloch is very, very cool. And Taven, Dagon, I know they came later, but had the slip in there.
Taven, the new metal frontman for Jonathan Davis's other stepbrother.
Yeah. Replaced in Edema, right?
Replaced in Edema, yeah. When Edema came back to do the song for Mortal Kombat Armageddon, they had just lost their singer, and they needed to replace him. So Mortal Kombat, the creators Mortal Kombat created Taven to replace him as a CG singer, because a lot of CG music videos were coming out at the time, and that was a really popular thing. So Taven was actually only created to be a new metal frontman. But then
all of this is factual and true.
Absolutely factual.
Yeah.
But then when Edema dropped out because they actually just disbanded completely, Mortal Kombat had this character left over, and they were like, well, fuck it. Let's just make him Dagon's brother.
Stick him in the game, whatever.
Yeah. Make him a main. Make him like a Cole Young, like the guy who doesn't know what's going on.
Okay. All right. Well, let's not draw too many comparisons between Taven and Cole Young. All right. Let's settle down there.
Okay. I got in over my head. My apologies.
One last question for you. You've watched pretty much everything that Corey and I have been talking about on the podcast, all the Mortal Kombat series and movies. Is that about right?
Yes, except for Federation of Martial Arts. That's the short fights, right?
Yeah.
Just
first of all,
fights. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, you should take the 48 minutes or whatever and give that a watch. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. All right, so
yeah, I will.
Out of all of the movies, TV shows, web series, all of that kind of stuff, what is your favorite media entry?
Man, immediate, without putting thought into it, immediate tie between 95 Mortal Kombat and Conquest.
The perfect answer. Correct.
And it's hard to say otherwise, because Conquest is fucking fantastic, first of all.
Is.
But I've only watched it once all the way through, from the beginning. I mean, well, from the first episode to the end, one time. And it was only after I found your guys' podcast and started listening to the episodes, and then realized it was available, and I was like, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the shit out of it. At first, first impressions was like, I remember telling my roommate about it, because he's into Mortal Kombat, but not nearly as much as I am.
Right.
But telling him, dude, it's pretty sick, because they borrow a lot of like visuals and maybe even scenes and set pieces from the 95 movie.
Yes.
Like, it really feels like a continuation of that. And almost like Annihilation doesn't even exist, which is great.
Sure.
So I'm like, this is cool. And then I'm slowly, like, not nitpicking it, but kind of just laughing at, like, yeah, this is silly. It's cheesy. It's,
sure,
late 90s, this, that. But I mean, that's part of why I love Mortal Kombat anyway.
It's all of those things in like the exact right ways to make it still fun, right?
Yeah.
And enjoyable.
And then the cast, I'm like, this is cast just really well. I love this guy as Kung Lao. Shang Tsung is awesome.
Yeah, man.
The new characters, Taja and Ciro, they're cool.
Sure,
I like what they're doing here. And it didn't take me very long to warm up to Jeff Meek.
Oh yeah,
I love that dude.
He wins you over. The man is just so charming. Whether you like the characterization or not, you can't help it.
Yeah, he is.
That show is perfectly cast. Not a single misstep.
No.
Certainly not in the Black Dragon episode with Jola.
No, not at all. Or Cabral.
Cabral.
It's like Yeah, it's like you sit on the couch and you turn it on, and all you can think in your head is, "See how easy life can be."
There it is.
Yeah, Raven. That's a show I gotta finish watching.
Yes.
I've seen that one episode, but
okay, I did send that to you. Cool. All right.
yeah.
All right, man. There's one more thing I want to ask you about. Dakota, you made the Combatant of the Week drop that we've been using on the commentary episodes.
Oh yeah.
Was that all you? That was all you playing that stuff, right?
Well, it was all me. But basically, I wrote that guitar riff, which is just and for those of you who may have not noticed, the last four chords dun dun down dun is straight from Mortal Kombat Conquest.
Oh yeah,
like those are the chords that typically end the intro or go into you going into Shao Kahn's lair or something. And the first part was just a quick little metal power chord thing I came up with.
Yeah, I think it was the last commentary where Corey thought I had started playing the episode when I hit the drop, the Combatant of the Week drop that you made. Yeah,
right.
So you fucking nailed it.
Oh, thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. I got my little home studio here, and I'm a pretty decent guitar player. I've been playing guitar for like 14 years, but I'm a very novice recording person, producer,
right,
mixer, all that stuff. So I tried my best to get the feel of Mortal Kombat in there and to more or less match the vibe, I guess. Not so much the tones, because I'm not really at that level yet of knowing how to do that or have the proper like plugins and stuff like that. But I have one drum plugin that I only know how to make sound one way. So those are the drums are programmed, but I wrote them. I can write the drums in MIDI or tab in Guitar Pro. I play drums, but not that well.
Okay.
But I can think them out through my brain. So I made up the drums, and then I played the bass part, and then I added all the little sound effects in there, like the eerie creepiness. That's all just my guitar. That's just me messing around with my guitar and using the whammy bar, and yeah, just adding layers. And then I threw my voice on there and tried to sound, mean, and probably did all right, And then I honestly, I was super honored to have the opportunity to do that and to have it be a part of your guys' podcast.
Oh, man.
Let me say that now. Thank you so much, because
thank you. Thank you for doing it.
No problem. I've been writing and playing music for such a long time, and I have yet to release anything.
Okay.
Well, actually that's not true. I guess I do have one thing to plug. It's kind of old, but anybody out there who has SoundCloud, you can go to my old band. It's called Mutagen, Mutagen, like Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
It's Mutagen_official, or you can type in Encrypted Conjuration, and a little EP will come up. It's really a demo, but it's 2 songs. It's got some crazy fucking artwork that we paid a guy to do. I'm forgetting his name, unfortunately, but it looks sick, and the songs they're death metal as fuck. And
hell yeah.
that band's not together anymore, but I wrote all that music, and you should check it out. Anybody who's out there,
man, that's awesome.
And I would say let me know what you think, but I don't know if anybody can even reach me. But if there's a thing on SoundCloud where you can talk to me, do it, because I'll find it.
There it is. Dakota, thank you so much for hopping on the mic and talking with me. And thank you, Kodi, for joining us as well. I know she's not there, but she might listen to this.
Oh, she will. She'll hear it.
All right, man.
No, thank you for having me. I'll do this anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime, and anything I can contribute. You need some more music or some I don't know what, but anything you could need, I will do it for you.
That's extremely generous of you. Thank you so much, man.
You got it, dude.
All right.
Thanks for fucking working your ass off for all us Mortal Kombat fans. We do not deserve Neal and Corey, and yet here we are.
Oh, shucks. Yeah, some people just probably want us to go away, so I'm glad at least one person out there likes us.
Well, I know one person who likes you. Her name is Vorpax.
Oh, hell yeah.
She wants you here. Tracy Douglas. Yo, what up, girl?
Tracy Douglas, call us. DM us.
Please.
Track us down. I'm trying. I'm looking for her. She's out there.
That's right. Yeah, I can't believe you guys had Paolo Montalban on the show. That's insane.
Oh yeah, we got to reach back. We got to open up those lines of dialogue again. We kind of let those sit for a little bit between him and Donnie. Things got busy, you know.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Donnie Meropis, call me.
Quan Chi, call him.
All right, man. Thanks for talking with me.
You got it, dude.